So welcome to the session, everyone, an orientation to lecture capture presentations. This was specifically requested, and it's further to our session on an orientation to my learning last week. And we have some objectives and so on for this workshop this evening. But right off the bat, I like to start with an activity, an icebreaker. So I want you to write anywhere on this board, all right? Say one thing that you know about lecture capture presentations. Now to do that, all you have to do is click on the T at the top left side, the capital T on the top left side of your screen, and then click anywhere on the board and type your answer. I wouldn't want to say answer, but type your response. Anything you know about lecture capture presentations. Anything that you know, anything that you read, anything that you've heard about. Screencast, I guess you mean Screencast-o-matic. Okay, good. That's good. Anybody else? Can be recorded. Very good. A method to record and then share or replay sessions. That is very good. I don't know who said that, but that is very good. That is true. Recording classroom lectures. Good. Very good. Any more? We have so far about 15 or 16 persons, so I could see more. Oma. Thanks, Oma. Anybody else? Good answer, Priscilla. Can incorporate videos. Yes, that is true. Can incorporate videos. Can upload, be uploaded as course content. Very good. Very good. So you have quite an idea of lecture capture presentations. Maybe I could get one more. I think we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably one more. No problem, Listra. We just got started. We were holding back because some persons had technical difficulties. So this is the first activity. What do you know? Just anything here that you might be familiar with regard to lecture capture presentations. One thing. So to do that, you just click on the T on the top right side. All right, and then you click anywhere on the board, and you could write your response. Go ahead. Any more? All right. So storage of lectures. I like that. Storage of lectures. And that's a good point. I don't know who said that, but that is a very valid point in terms of storing your lectures. Just realized we diverted from the Agri-Green. You want to explain? Anybody who said that? Oh, okay, right. Fair enough. I like that. Yes, we diverted, I guess, but it goes and keep it. I guess it matches with the theme of the PowerPoint. All right, so you guys are very much you're very much correct. It's an interactive way to. Very good. That is also one of the things I had in this presentation. That is a way to archive your material. All right, and you see now that we're in this period of remote teaching and learning, or using the online platforms to do so, it makes it even easier. Now let me just digress a little bit. You know, when you're doing lecture capture face-to-face, when you're trying to record your lecture, for example, it's a lot more difficult because you need a lot more hardware and a lot more equipment to facilitate that process. All right, so for example, the lecturer or presenter will have to wear a mic most likely. Then you're gonna have to have a camera with a tripod maybe, and all these different things. But now that we are moving more to remote or online teaching and learning, it makes it even easier because you could just sit in front of your laptop and you're gonna get it. You could record your stuff right there. And then on top of that, you have cloud computing now, so you could format it to convert it to a format that is easily compatible with amongst different devices, such as an MP4. And then on top of that, you could use it, you could share it via a link, a URL. So we're gonna get into it. All right. Any other questions? Okay, great. So let's go forward. By the end of this session, we just have some objectives. By the end of this session, you'll be able to identify the steps in lecture capture creation. All right. And the reason I'm saying this is because you could use different software or technology platforms, but the process will always be the same. All right. I'll show you how to develop a script. You don't have to develop it because of the time we have here. You may not have to develop a script per se, because I know in the previous session, I asked you to have a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation within easy reach. All right, so I'm just gonna outline the process for you, show you what your script, a template, and I think you would have gotten that via your email. All right, and then we're gonna create the visual, which you probably would have already for the most part, which would be a PowerPoint, for example, or building a PowerPoint presentation. And then, of course, produce the lecture capture presentation and learning how to share it. All right? So let's get straight into it. A lecture capture, when we think of lecture capture, it's a sort of, I don't want to say a generic term, but it's a term that refers to different types of presentations. All right, whether they are screencasts, whether they are video casts, whether they are enhanced casts, whether they are video, just basic. Well, when I say video casts, I'm referring to like video recordings. When I say screencast, I'm referring to like a recording of your screen, which would include PowerPoint, of course, or any other, even your face for that matter. All right. And lecture capture refers to any platform that allows you to record your presentation. Simply put, right? And added to that, it makes it shareable. In other words, it makes it available online, so you have that storage right there, and then you're able to archive it, as someone said earlier, and then you're able to share it. All right, whether you share it as a file or you share it as a link, a URL, it makes it easier to share. Also, you want to look at the formatting. Now, let me just take this opportunity to differentiate a lecture capture from or screencast as different from a narrated PowerPoint, right? One of the things with a narrated PowerPoint is this that makes it difficult to save and to share is the size, and on top of that, the format. So the size, when you create a narrated PowerPoint, the size of it is very, very, very large. So much so that sometimes you can't even upload it into My Learning under normal circumstances. So keep that in mind. Then the format is another one that would make it very complicated because it's not something that is easily downloadable on multiple or diverse devices. All right, so keep that in mind. Lecture capture. A lecture capture by its very nature should at least allow you to download or save it as an MP4. And MP4 is the most compatible or one of the more compatible audio-visual formats. All right. Even if you go to upload it into YouTube, it takes less time because it's a format that is so compatible. All right, and easy to identify. So keep that in mind. And moving on here, so we're going into the process of it. How do you do it? Well, I want to ask you, what do you think is the first step in this process? Right, scripted. I just noticed Omar has, I think that's an avocado in front of him. Breadfruit. There we go. There we go. All right. So, so scripted, definitely, right? So this is at this point is oh, thanks, Omar. Is where you're gonna sort of create a blueprint for your screencast or for your lecture capture or presentation, whatever you want to call it. All right. After you script it, you wanna when I say see it, what do I mean? Anybody? Visualize it. Very good, Listra. So this is where you're going to create sequence, right? Very good. I like that, Omar. So this is where you're going to create your PowerPoint, for example. And in some cases, you might have your text, you will have your images, you would have your graphics, your graphs, and all these other things that basically, when you think of the see it or the visuals, you're thinking of the content, the visual content. All right? So keep that in mind. Then when we think of record it, this is when you add in another layer to it now. So you had your foundation, which is the blueprint. You start to build your house now. So you move from scripted to scene it, you're creating the visuals. Then you add in another layer to it. Let's say the roof, where you record it. All right? And this is where like the technology will come in as well. You know, and there are different platforms I'll show you that you could use, but I'm just going to show you two today. And after you record it, you could see this last part, share it as, think of you moving in your house, right? You could share it, all right? You could, whether, like I said, you upload it into you download it on your desktop or flash drive, and then upload it into YouTube. So it makes it even easier to share that presentation. Now, if it is you're not comfortable with YouTube, now I think I always recommend that you put it on YouTube because you have a little more control. And then if you're not too comfortable with YouTube, you can also use Google Drive and just share the link from there. All right. But YouTube would allow you to get some feedback, allow questions to be asked, and all these different things. All right. Now, before I go forward, let me just show you what the script template looks like. So if it looks a little small, you can just click on the purple icon on the top left side. It's a purple icon that looks like a page with a magnifying glass. And then when you click that, you'll see a magnifying glass with a plus sign. You click on that and it'll allow you to zoom in. All right. So can everyone see what's on the board? All right, great. It's raining a lot over here. I don't know if it's raining by you guys as well. But okay, so if you look here, we see what the template or the blueprint looks like, and everyone you would have gotten this in your emails. So this is like for when you're gonna do future screencasts or lecture captures. All right. You want to start off with your. Let me just get the pointer. You want to start off with your introduction. Your introduction. Now you could do this in point form. It doesn't have to be a narrative. You could do it in point form. What are the main things you want to cover in your introduction? So for example, it might be your learning outcomes. It might be some major points like an overview of your presentation. All right. Then you might want to go into the different topics or subheadings that you have for your presentation. Topic 1, topic 2, and the time factor. Now, let me just say this. Now, if it's a screencast, a full-fledged screencast, then you're probably not going to go very long. Screencasts are usually fairly short. And when I say short, I mean like 10, sometimes 5, 10, 15 minutes, or anywhere in between. A screencast could be, well, it's a form of a lecture capture. A screencast could be an overview to your course. So, you know, like at the top of your course, now let me just back up a little bit. I don't know if you would have gotten the documentation and so on with regard to the recent protocols for assessments, your alternative assessments. They are now recommending or suggesting that you create a welcome note.
Oh my God.
Put a welcome. Sorry? Hello? Listra? Okay. They just suggested that you put in addition to your mile. Oh, no problem, Listra. They just suggest it's not a big jump from what we did last week. It's the same thing. No, it's not that much more work. You might actually be able to do it today and just knock that out of the park. So it's just they're saying that you should put a sort of welcome at the very top of your course. Now I'm suggesting that to kill two birds with one stone, you could easily, instead of typing up a whole thing, you could easily just create a screencast of about a minute or two, and then just put that, drag it into upload it as you would upload a normal file in My Learning. All right, and that screencast could be about the exam. That screencast could be an overview of your course or an introduction to your course, that kind of thing. So I'm just saying, you might want to consider a screencast to do that, because then you could take it and use it for other iterations of your course. All right. Now, in some cases, it might be a full-fledged lecture. Now, I usually don't recommend going beyond half an hour or an hour for pre-recorded lecture captures, right? Because of the attention span and so on and other factors. But in the event that you need to do something more than, let's say, 20 minutes, let's say you want to do something for half an hour or 45 minutes, then you could adjust the sequence and the duration on each topic accordingly. Any questions on this template? Okay, great. Okay, great. So it's fairly easy to understand. And like I said, you don't have to put like the you don't have to put a narrative, but you could easily just put points. So for example, let's do a quick thing here. If we were to create, we want to plan a screencast on, let's see, planting a breadfruit, right? To use to build off of what Omar was saying earlier and his picture. What would be the first thing that you put in the introduction? Now, feel free to type on the board. You could type on the document. So I'll start for you, right? Just to show you what I'm talking about. Right. So I placed that first one there. Someone could go ahead and click somewhere else. So Omar, you go ahead. You just click the T and type under number 1. What other point you're gonna put? Right. We want to raise the importance of breadfruit to the national food basket and our individual. Very good, right? Nice. I like that. Anybody else that you want to put? Anything else you think should go in the introduction? How can it benefit your family? Good, good. That's all right, Omar. That's all right. It's in red, so we could see it as compared to the blue, so that's okay. Right? Anything else you want to put inside here? So we have the dietary needs. All right. Right, good. Health benefits. I was waiting for right, good. So we have the health benefits or dietary needs, I guess. The benefits of to your family. What about, maybe you could put the conditions necessary for breadfruit cultivation? Ah, what do you mean by this? When you say multifunctional, Omar, in terms of economics? Okay, okay, very good. I like that. So all these things you could put as just the like an overview. So we know in this presentation we're gonna look at foods in unique foods in Trinidad and Tobago. The importance of breadfruit in national food basket and our dietary needs. We're going to look at how can it benefit our family. We're going to look at the role it plays in terms of economics and entrepreneurship and social intervention and so on, right? We're going to look at the health benefits. What about the conditions necessary for breadfruit plantation? That might be one thing. So those are the main topics in this presentation. And then under here, we could raise the first point for topic 1, which would be, and here's where we could elaborate on the main topics that we identified in the introduction. So for example, and then of course from there, you could put the subsidiary points. So in other words, Omar, what do you mean by the importance of breadfruit to the national food basket? And maybe someone else could put in topic 2, whatever topics, main topic that you want to address in topic 2. So right, someone said food, mass, variety of uses, preparations, it produces food beyond our lifetimes. Okay, good. Someone put something where can you get seedlings? Okay, good, where can you get seedlings? So that might go in, good. So all of that might be part of topic 1. So you see how it outlines, you have your main topic and then you have the subsidiary topic. Let's do this next one, and we'll do this and move on. All right, health benefits. Let's call this health benefits here. And good, so someone could put some health benefits. Right, you would also prep students to do some research before such a class by sending them to breadfruit. I like that, Omar. Very good. So, and this builds on what we were looking at with authentic assessments, alternative assessments last week. It makes the session more, this may not be an assessment you're using, but it's an approach that makes it more authentic because you're bringing it to real life. Oh, there we go. There we go. We'll talk about, this is very much up your alley, right? Good. So, health benefits. And while you type for health benefits, I was saying to what Omar said earlier with regard to sending them to see breadfruit trees, making observations, I guess, and whatnot. All of these things help to bring life to the teaching and learning process, so it doesn't become one-dimensional or static. All right, anybody could put health benefits, and then we'll just move on. Now, unfortunately, Omar, I don't eat breadfruit, so I'm not too, versed in terms of the health benefits and so on. All right, so Isabella said high in fiber. Let me put that on the template for you. High in fiber. Good. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that, how breadfruit is used in medicine as a medicinal source. Anything else? Thanks, Omar. I'm learning things here, by the way. But yeah, we'll just leave that in the chat. Good. One more thing. So we have topic 2, health benefits. 1, it is high in fiber. It's gluten-free. Yes, that is true. See, I knew that one. It has medicinal functions. What else? Is it high in protein as well? Isn't it high in protein? Right, good. So you could put that there. Let's show you want to type it or you want me to type it? No. Okay, great. You go right ahead, Listra. Now, this is a good way, by the way, on a side note. This is a good way you could engage a student in Blackboard. You just create a blank space like a template like this, and you could get them to put in the information. All right. In some cases, you could go a step further and put like a list, just the numbers on the list, and they could type next to 1, next to 2, next to 3, so it doesn't overlap, and so on. And even if it does, you can drag it to suit. All right. Right. Someone said it's you have complex carbs. Some varieties are high in protein. Good. So you see what a template looks like, even though it might be looking a little scrappy in terms of the different font colors and so on, but you get the gist of it, right? The main point here, so we have the introduction. In today's session, we're going to look at the importance of breadfruit in the national food basket. We're going to look at the benefits to your family. It has for your family. We're going to look at the health benefits to your body. We're going to look at it in terms of its multifunctional facet in terms of economics and entrepreneurship and that kind of thing, right? And then from there now we could go into topic one, which we identified in the introduction, the importance of the national food basket. All right. So we talk about its preparation, the variety of uses, and that sort of thing. Then in the next topic, we look at health benefits. So it has a low glycemic index, it's gluten-free, it has complex carbs, it's high in protein, and of course we look at the health, the medicinal part of it. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what an outline or a blueprint looks like, right? So when you are recording a lecture, and the reason I'm emphasizing the blueprint is because a lot of these platforms in the free versions, they may not readily allow you provide you with advanced editing privileges. So that's why you want to know exactly what your points are, so you don't be stammering too much, or you don't lose track of the sequence and so on, or what salient points you want to make along the way. Because that could happen, especially if you're not used to it, right? Sometimes you might think, okay, I could wing it. And you realize that when you hit the record button, your brain goes blank, and you know, that kind of thing. So it's always good to have a guide to your presentation, all right, that you could speak to. All right, so now that we have an idea what a script looks like, let me just minimize this on my end. If you might need to minimize it on your end too, just click on the minus, the magnifying glass at the top right left side with the minus sign, and it should come back to a couple times, and you should come back to normal. So what do you need? Now that we have the script, or we know what a script looks like, well, these are the things you'll need here. You're going to need, obviously, a computer, a microphone, and speaker, all right? Now, in some cases, laptops are now coming with built-in microphones and speakers. So that might be something that, it might be an ease up for you, yeah? But you always need to verify, yeah, to ensure that it's built in and it's functional. Or if you need, in some cases, let me say as well, you could easily use your phone device. When I say phone, your phone's headset, that could work as well. But sometimes when you use that, you know, you could get all kind of external noises. When I say noises in the environment, so keep that in mind. What I would recommend would be one of the large headsets with a microphone. And when I say the large headset, the one that covers your entire ear and with the microphone close to your mouth. So that way, those microphones have to minimize external noises. So like if you know, some of us might live in noisy environments. You have the dogs barking. In my case, you have rain falling outside. Right now, you might have children in the background. So having one of those large headsets helps to minimize the external noises. That, and of course, you want to find a quiet time and space to do your recordings. I find for me, sometimes doing the recording late in the night when persons are sleeping, when no one is going to call my phone, when I have less distractions and noises, the nighttime tends to be the best, sometimes tends to be the best for me. Sometimes it might be early in the morning for you. For another person, it might be during the afternoon. Some people might be sleeping in the afternoon, so it's easier for you to record. All right? And of course, internet. Now, the platforms you're going to be using today are web-based, meaning that you need internet to use them, right? Other platforms, and I'll show you the platforms in just a bit, you can use on your lap or desktop, and you wouldn't need any internet to at least record your screencast, your lecture capture, right? Your lecture, sorry. So after that, once you have the hardware, you're going to need software. Software would be the platform that you use to record your lecture, all right? And it might also, in some instances, refer to the platform you're going to use to edit your presentation, all right? Now I have a list that will give you an idea. So, it gives you a little leeway, a little flexibility um, with regard to the software. So these are some of the platforms that produce fairly stable platforms that can be used to create to do lecture capturing. Off the top, some of you, if you're working at the university for a while now, quite a while now, you might know about Camtasia Studio. Now, Camtasia is in my opinion, one of the best. It's been around before a lot of them on this list. And it's one of the more user-friendly and advanced platforms, but it's not the cheapest, yeah? One of the things I like about Camtasia is that it can be used to record your lecture, right? But it can also be used to edit. In the same platform, you could edit your presentation, right? Now, some of these platforms, other platforms also do the same. For example, Screencast-o-matic. Even though it's free, well, in the free version, it allows you minimal editing privileges, all right? But when you sign up for a plan, you get all editing privileges. Loom is another one where you could create online presentations or lectures. All right. Sometimes it might be that you need to show your screen, whether it's to show your screen how to navigate through a website or. Okay, good question, Omar. Editing after you record. Now, in some instances, you might want to edit your recording if it is that, and this is why I was stressing that you have a script, because it minimizes the mistake you will make during recording, right? But editing would help you. Let's say if you you were going good and you made a little error, all right, but you don't want to stop the entire recording, you want to continue, all right, you might want to do some post-production where you edit your presentation and take out that little mistake you made. Yeah, maybe you said something that might be a little too controversial, or maybe the explanation was a little confusing, and you want to take that part out, right? So that's where you would want to do some editing after you record your presentation, but that's optional. If you do a great script, guys, and you stick to your script, then you wouldn't need to do any editing. I promise you wouldn't need to do any editing once you do your script and stick to it. Now, another one, as we see here, is Blackboard Collaborate, which is, I'll show you, very briefly how to use Blackboard Collaborate to record your presentations. Now, the reason I'm putting Blackboard here is because some of you, well, I don't know if you, but some persons in your department I worked with to privately record their lectures, because of unforeseen circumstances. All right, so we were able to record their lecture in advance and then subsequently made it available to students. Now, with that said, what are some of the advantages? And feel free to write any on the board here. What are some of the advantages of lecture capturing? Why should we do lecture capturing? What benefits does it have or provide for you and your students? Available anytime. Good. Nice. I like that. Anybody else? It's available anytime. Students can review in case it didn't get some. Very good. I like that, Listra. So it helps for reinforced learning. You connect some complex ideas. Good. Good. Anything else?
Hi, this is Trisha. How about accountability?
Sorry?
Accountability.
All right, explain. Go ahead.
The fact that you said what you said and you can defend what you said,
Okay, I like that. I like that, yes, because it's almost like a record of what, like you said, what you said, right? So that's, you definitely hit the nail on the head, Trisha. All right, good. And of course, so I like, you guys are very much in tune with some student needs and so on, right? So students might need to see this, to review your lecture at subsequent times, whether it's for revision purposes, whether it's for um, clarification purposes. In your case, it's a way to see um, what we call reflective practice. So you could look at it and learn from it. Whether you should, you need to explain things a little more clearly, that kind of thing. All right. So in addition to the lecture capture software, you also have editing software. Now, I normally don't do this, but I like to put it, so you don't get caught by surprise, so to speak. Now, like I said, Camtasia has a studio of its own, so you could edit inside there. Screencast-o-matic should also be on this list. It has its own studio for you to edit, take off a little piece that you think, you don't need inside there. If not, if you have a Mac, it comes with iMovie, so that is something that you could use as well. And then you have other platforms that you could download, or sometimes might cover your computer. So, for example, Windows Live Movie Maker is something that I don't know if it comes still with most machines now, but I know with Windows 8 and some other PCs, it was part of the suite of software, all right, that you could use to edit your things. So, for example, the recording of last week's session that you would have gotten, well, I think Sean may have sent to you before. I normally use, and all the other online sessions we do, I use Movie Maker for the most part to edit those recordings. So that's just letting you know, and it's very easy to use. All right. And if you need a tutorial, I could easily send you a good link that is easy to understand. So let's move to Screencast-o-matic. That's the first software we're going to use. All right. Or look at, I should say. So Screencast-o-matic is a lecture capture, screen capture software. Anybody knows what a screencast is? What's a screencast? Sure, no problem, Nilo. What's a screencast, anybody? I mean, you can take a shot. It's fairly easy to understand. You might be surprised. Anybody? A short movie. Okay, I could take that. All right. Very good, Listra. Thanks for that. A screencast is like a recording of whatever is showing on your screen. Like when you want to know how to do something in Word, in Microsoft Word, you want to know how to adjust the margins. I'm just giving an example. Most students, at least, would go to YouTube and they will see a tutorial on how to adjust the margins. It'll show you where to click, what to look for, what it should look like. Exactly. A digital recording of what's on your computer screen. That's perfect. I don't wanna ask if you looked it up on Google, but that's basically what it is. I like that definition. Now with Screencast-o-matic, it records whatever's on your screen. Example, a PowerPoint presentation. The basic version is free, so that's good. Easy to use. It's literally, guys, almost like as simple as the click of a button. All right, and that sort of thing. So Now let me just say with this basic version, it allows you for a maximum of 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and I think that is fairly sufficient if it is, depending on the purpose you want to use this capture for, right? If it's a course overview, if it's a recap of salient points that you covered in a module or an introduction to a module in your course, then this is definitely the route for you. All right. Now, how to use it? It's very simple. I try to whittle it down to at least 6 simple steps. Normally, I would aim for 3 to 7, but 6, I guess, works. All right. And I'll show you the graphics so you know exactly what to look for. So if you like, you could follow, you could try and access it on your machines if you could split the screen, I don't know if you want to do that, or if you just want to follow my voice while you try to access it on your browser. All right? So you could pull up another tab or another page. You could pull up another tab or another page on your web browser. If you're going to do a simple Google search, for example, if it's Google Chrome, you're going to do a search, type in Screencast-o-matic. So you may not need the hyphens, Screencast-o-matic, and you just do a Google search for that. So if you look at the screen in my screen here with the right, the simple search Screencast-o-matic, and from the time you click Screencast-o-matic, this is always going to appear at the top. The site, the site and the description. All right. At this point, you don't have to read the rest for now. You can always go ahead and do that subsequent to this. But you want to click on Screen Recorder. Screen Recorder. When you click on Screen Recorder, it should open up to this page, a snapshot here, this page on the right side. It should take you to this page. Is everyone seeing that? Let me know if you get stuck anywhere. So to recap, you're doing a Google search for Screencast-o-matic, and you're going to click Screen Recorder, and then you're going to click Launch Recorder, which is the orange button down here. Launch Recorder. And already those are the first 3 steps. So see how simple it is, like doing a Google search, type in the Screencast-o-matic, and then you click Launch Screen Recorder. I find it quiet. Let me know if you're getting through.
I've gotten through, thanks.
Okay, great. So once you click Launch Screen Recorder, you're going to see it. Usually it would appear, depending on the setting of your machine or the browser that you're using. It's going to appear usually the lower left side where downloading the screen recorder. Right. So you could run it. You don't have to save it on your machine. Great, Patrice. You would see it on the lower tab, one of the tabs at the bottom of your screen. And when you click on it, you should see a page that looks something like this, with this little black thing and a dotted sort of perforated line or box.
So you click Download Launcher?
Yes. When you download it, you open it up.
It's not allowing me to download it.
Wait until it finishes. Let me share my screen and I could show you what it looks like as well, right? Do you want me to do that? Or stay on this page?
Okay. Got it.
Got it? Okay, great. Great. So once you so click on open or launch web recorder. Now let me just back up and say as well now, Screencast-o-matic has an app that you could download on your laptop, for example, or desktop. But I find it doesn't do really that much. So I'm just telling you one time that so you know, right? Because sometimes you always have to update it, you have to go, that kind of thing. So good. So once you open it, you should see a page with this little, well, not a page, but you should see a little thing that pops up with this black square here. Anyone seeing that?
Yes.
Great. Nice. And you're seeing like a sort of dotted line or box?
Yes.
Right. So here's what I want you to do. You can easily click on any corner of this box, and you can drag it to open it and expand it to your entire screen. All right. And the reason I'm saying this now you could adjust it to suit the frame, whether you want it very big for your entire screen, or if you want it small to just like the little slide you're looking at there. It's up to you, but I'm just saying, if it is you want to show different, you have different transitions and animations in the PowerPoint presentation, then you might want to go to the presentation screen. All right. Good. So once you're on this side, so we're going through steps 4 to 6 now. You're gonna make sure you're gonna see the top here. It'll ask if you want the screen, the webcam, or both. Most cases, people just select the screen. So in other words, that'll be a PowerPoint or whatnot. Okay? And I think by default, it's normally left to this one, which is screen. After that, you're gonna look at, well, of course, it's telling you the max time is 15 minutes. You're gonna see narration with this microphone. All right. Once you start speaking, you should see the microphone signal lighten up. So go ahead and speak on your microphone and test it. Please. And this part is important, guys, because you don't want to go through the process of, go through your presentation and realize it didn't capture any of your voice. So you should see it while you are speaking. It's lighting up, yellow, green, red, that kind of thing. If it's not lighting up, then something is wrong with your audio. Somebody was saying, let's show you have something to say?
No, I was just testing it, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Is it working?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So you see how simple this is to use. That's why I always kind of take people to Screencast-o-matic, because it's very easy to use. It's almost as simple as the click of a button. Now, what you're going to do now, let's pretend, now remember we went through what a script looks like. So, to save time, I just kind of made everyone do one script like what we did earlier. So what I want you to do now is pull up your PowerPoint presentation, wherever that may be. You could use any PowerPoint that you might have within easy reach. Open a PowerPoint document. Now, you can also use this for like if you have a PDF or a Word document, whatever you have on your screen. If it's even something to show navigation through a particular site, and that sort of thing. You could, anything on your screen. But in this instance, you could pull up a PowerPoint presentation, and you would notice that this, the perforated lines will not disappear. No matter what you pull up on your screen, you'll always see that box there. So everyone has a PowerPoint? Yeah? Okay, I'll give you a minute just to source it. Okay, great. Patrice, you have yours. Right. All right, so once you've done that, then, so you have your PowerPoint, you would see this, okay, great. You're gonna click on the record button right here. It's at the lower left side. Oh, before you click record, sorry, put your presentation in slideshow mode, in presentation mode. In other words, full screen. The box is not gonna disappear. You're gonna see the box there still. All right. And once you've done that, say presentation is in presentation mode or full screen. Then you're gonna click record. This record button. Now when you click record, just before you click it, let me just give you an idea of what you're gonna see, right? So you wouldn't be thrown off. It's gonna count you in because the platform is fairly user friendly. It's gonna count you in like a 3, 2, 1, almost like what you would see on TV, like 3, 2, 1, go. Then you start talking. All right. And when you want to stop, you would see the icons on the lower same place where you click record. You're gonna see a pause button, a stop button, and these different things. So let me give about 2 minutes just to do a quick record. I'll take off my mic, and you could type in the chat or speak over here if you need to if you encounter any problems. Is everyone good with that? Okay, great. So I'll give you about let's say about 2 to 3 minutes to at least prepare a presentation. So let's say by it's now 2:16. Let's say by about 20 past 2, we can or probably a little sooner than that. I'll come in and bring us move us on. Okay. And again, if you have any problems, feel free to type your response here or your query here. I'm here, so I'm not leaving. We're not leaving the session. We're still here. We're just giving a couple minutes for you to do your recording. All right? It's just a test. So it doesn't have to be a very long recording. You might do it within 3 minutes. Oh, right. So you might, are you still seeing the black screen, the black box, Anissa? This black box when you go into slideshow mode? Right. Click on that box, anywhere on it, preferably at the top, and you should see the record button appear again. Listra, are you okay? Good. Patricia, good. The good thing is that you see how easy it is to use, right? Right. So once you've stopped your recording, everyone is back in, right? Right. So once you've stopped your recording, I'm not seeing Neela, Listra, you okay? Neela, you okay? Yeah. Okay, Neela is good. Right. So once you have stopped your recording, you would see some icons appear at the bottom of the screen, right? On the left side, the bottom of the screen. These icons are, let me see if I can share my screen and make it easier for you to follow, okay? Yeah? So you would see some icons at the lower end of the screen, left side of the screen down here. Now, if it is you want to review your recording, you can simply click next to the record button. You would see a play icon, right? It's just like an arrowhead. And you can click on that and review what you just did. Like now, right? If you realize it's a good recording. So this is where I was talking, Umar, where you might want to see if it needs editing, or you might want to do it over. In your case, well, how my voice came through interrupted your recording. That's something you might want to edit or take out or even do over altogether if you'd like. Now, once you are done, you could either delete everything and start over, or you could click done. In this case, because it's just a tester, all right, you're going to click done. Now, you would see two options. Here you save and upload, and then here you can edit, do basic editing. All right, let me just show you what that looks like. It's going to show you, right, unlock that, you have to upgrade and so on. All right, so, and the features are very easy to use. So once you've done that, in terms of the editing features, I mean, sorry.
Justin, excuse me.
Yes?
I just see the Screencast-o-matic start page right now.
Are you seeing this now? Yeah?
I see the options. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. So sorry, it opened in a new window, so that's why I don't think you saw that. All right, so you should see something like this, and you would see save as video file, sorry, upload to Screencast-o-matic. Now to do that, you'll have to open an account in Screencast-o-matic. So you don't have to, I'm going to show you exactly what to do, and of course you could upload it to YouTube. Now in my experience, it doesn't always come out quite clear as I would like it to be when I try to sync it from here straight into YouTube. So what I do is save it as a video file. Save it as a video file. Now you're gonna see this page, this little black screen changes to, not black screen, pop up, appear here, and it's gonna tell you the file type. Now you always wanna leave it as an MP4. Like I said earlier, this is the most compatible audio-visual format. So leave it as an MP4. Then in file name, you're going to click there and give it a proper name. Let's say test. I could call mine test. So it'll save as test rec, and of course the format will be MP4. Then in browse, you're going to find the folder that you wanted to save in. I prefer to leave it as the desktop, so it's easy for me to find. All right. You could even create a folder on your desktop and say Screencast-o-matic, lecture recordings, right? All right, so far so good. Now at this point, you could decide if you want the cursor to show. Now I don't know, sometimes you might be showing where to click. So you notice on my thing, look here, the cursor is highlighted with this yellow circle. Right here. You could take that off if you'd like and say no cursor, just cursor, or highlight the cursor. I tend to like the cursor. So I just leave it. And then you click publish. Now publish doesn't mean everybody is seeing it. Publish just means that it's gonna render or process and download on whatever folder you decided. So is everyone ready to publish or save the video? So click on publish. And you're gonna see a thing like this.
Sorry, Justin, I'm a little lost here. Could we go back? Go back when you save, right? I'm trying to save it, but when I select the folder, like I have a folder in my documents called Screencast. When I select that, another folder comes up saying recording 3.
Oh, okay.
Then it says files of type. Not seeing like anywhere to put the name of the file.
Right. So what you're gonna do?
So just click OK.
One sec, let me pull it up. So let me see if I could go back. One sec, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going through the process one more time. So you should see this page again, right? So when you click Save Video As, you're gonna go to File. You're gonna go to File Name.
Right.
When you click on it, you're gonna see it pop up here.
Right.
So you type the name.
Okay.
So you click on File Name and then click on. You could change from recording number 4, whatever the number is.
Okay.
So you could customize the name.
Okay. All right. Good. Understand.
Right. Once you do that, you go now in folder. And in your case, you might need, because I just did it, so it's set to desktop. In your case, you need to browse, click on browse.
Yes.
And you're just going to click desktop. That's all you're going to click.
Okay.
Desktop.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
And then you're going to click publish.
Okay. Good. Got you.
Right? Okay.
Thank you.
No problem at all. So when it's published, it doesn't take very long for it to render. All right. You could either play the video again, you could preview it again. You could locate the folder that you stored it in. All right. So for example, browse folder will take me to, I'm just showing you. Right. It'll show me exactly where my recording is and it's highlighted right here.
Okay.
Test recording 2, and then we see test rec, which is what I just saved. All right.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yep.
All right. So let me just put you back onto the PowerPoint, and so you'll see exactly where we're at. Okay. All right. So we were right here. We did steps 1 to 3, and we just did steps 4 to 6 after that, which would take us to this part, right, where we use the PowerPoint presentations that we came to the session with, and we produced our screencast, right? So that's the first thing. Not the first thing. That's to give us a little idea of where we are. So now is where you're gonna decide how you're going to share it, because it's good to have it. Okay, you have the content, but how do you make that available to your students? All right, or to whoever you need to make it available to. So, of course, it's already produced as an MP4, so the platform does that for you. And now it's just to kind of put it in a platform another platform that would, that others could access and see and so on. So to do that, it takes us to this part now, where we can go to YouTube, we can go to our YouTube channel. Now, let me just do a quick poll. All right, and there's a reason I'm going to do this. It's just a quick question that's going to be asked, and it's right in front of you. So you could click whichever one, whichever response applies to you. I have 7 responses. 10. Go ahead. Keep. All right, Margaret. Good. Margaret, you could click on the poll in front of you. So far, we have 12 out of 16 persons who said they have a email account. Right, Isabella, you clicked on the poll. Neil, good, you clicked right. So I'm assuming Neil and Isabella would round out the figures. All right. So we all have a Gmail account. So that's a good place to start. So would you believe that once you have a Gmail account, you already have a YouTube channel, right? It's very, very, very simple. It's that simple. So what I need you to do is go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, and you can just do a Google search, and you go to, once you are logged in as your, I'll show you where to go to log in and so on. So you go into YouTube. Is everyone on YouTube? You could go, well, I'm taking you to a YouTube channel. Okay, right. No, I think that was the video started playing on my end. So yes, so now that we have, sorry, Lystra, sorry. So good, so let me just share my screen so you see what it looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like here. And I don't even know what this is about, but what I want you to do, you would see at the top here, if you are not signed in, you would see sign in. It'll ask you to sign in. Are you seeing that? At the top right side, it's going to ask you to sign in. Okay. When you click on sign in, it's all you're going to insert would be a normal Gmail, your normal Gmail login credentials. Oh, you just see, okay, good. That means you're signed in already, Anissa. So your screen might look a little bit like mine. I'm just doing it through Google Chrome, so through Internet Explorer. So it looks like this a little bit, right? Just so the search engines wouldn't be too confused. So once you see this, you should see something like this, like a little arrow here. If it's Google Chrome, you're going to see something looking a little different, but something with a plus sign, for example. Yeah? Right. So good, Isabella. So once you don't even need to click on YouTube. Well, are you seeing the plus sign at the top right side of the screen? It'll either be a plus sign or an arrow facing up. No? What are you seeing at the top right side then? Right, create video post. Yes, yes. And like I said, I could share my screen from Google Chrome and show you the difference, right? Because this is Internet Explorer that you're seeing here. Let me go to Google Chrome. And you would see something a little different on that end. Right, if I were to share, let me just change the screen. And the reason I'm doing this is just so you know, you're going to see sometimes different things on different screens. And it all depends on the browser you're using. It might depend on the configurations on the machine. So in some cases, you might see this little plus sign here with a camera. If that is the case, click Create. And then you click Upload Video. Right, great, yeah. So I just went back to Google Chrome. So that's just to show what both look like, right? So just know that it doesn't matter what it looks, well, it doesn't matter as much what it looks like. The location is always going to be the same, which is at the top right side, usually next to the bell icon, right? Or not far from, if you have a profile picture or your initial. So you're going to click Upload Video. Upload Video. And that is going to take you to a window, that a little pop-up thing that looks like, when it comes up, you'll see. All right, this is just a little upgrade they have. All right, I don't need to see this now. Right, so you should see something like this. Is everyone seeing that? No?
So the screen before that, it says get started. Just don't say no thanks. Or...
That's just, it's a new version that they're trying to promote in terms of all of that. So once you, even if like what I got just now, it said learn more about this new thing and whatnot. Right. Anissa, if Internet Explorer wasn't supported, then go straight to Chrome. Right? It wouldn't disallow Chrome because Google owns YouTube, Google owns Chrome. So yeah. So just click once you go to that top, so I'm not sure who was speaking. I think it was Listra or Sharon.
Yeah. Said
Right,
get started or no thanks.
Just
What
click
should
no
I
thanks.
No thanks. Okay. All right.
And what are you saying now?
Back to the old screen that I was on before.
Okay. Okay, go back and click create.
Right. Sorry?
It's probably asking you that because it's your probably the first time
Right. That's
uploading.
correct.
Yeah.
Go back to upload video again.
Right.
And then this time say get started.
Yes.
Okay.
So what are you saying now?
It says, well, two things. It's either use your name, create a channel using your name, or use a custom name and then select.
Right. So you could use either one. That's, I guess, your preference. If you want your name to be on it, when I say your name or any name that you, if they're asking if it's your name, to pull it from your Gmail account.
Yes.
If you want to give it a separate name, then you could go ahead and do that. But you could use the same Gmail name.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'll show you in a bit, Omar, as we go forward.
Right. Okay, so just upload it now.
Right. So once you're here, it's as simple as just drag it. You could click on this little arrowhead icon and upload it there. Or if you happen to be a little more adventurous and whatnot, you could easily just drag it into the field. All right, so you could click on the arrow and then browse and search your desktop, because remember that's where you stored it. Or if you want a quicker way, you could just drag it from one folder into that arrowhead. And see, it already produces a link. Now, you didn't publish it yet, but remember mine is only a couple seconds long, so it's going to produce in no time, right? So here's what we're going to do. It isn't published or anything yet. No one could see this yet, and no one will. So what we're going to do, once we have this here, now you could give it a proper title up here, right? Where let's say when you do a full real thing, you could give it a proper title. Let's say course overview or breadfruit. Somebody's mic is on? Or someone had a question? Go ahead.
I'm not seeing my file at all in the desktop. I have to go and do it all over again.
Oh, what was the name of the file you gave it? What was the name you gave the file?
Test LMS.
All right. Make sure you're on your desktop, correct?
Yes, I had saved it up. I thought so. Not there now.
Okay. It's not there now. Check your downloads folder. It might be there as well. And usually it'll be in alphabet. Well, depending on how you set it, it may be in alphabetical order.
Mine is set for date modified, but it's not there.
It's not any download folder either.
No.
And you stored it somewhere, it's just not located. Well, I could probably walk you through after, if you don't mind, if you're not busy at all, maybe after the session, and then but you could follow here, right? Right.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So once you're here, you give it a title, because we're almost finished. You give it a title, you give it a description if you want, it's not mandatory. And you scroll down. Now, YouTube updated its settings, so they had recent policy things and so on. So if you say no, it's not made for kids, it doesn't mean it's explicit stuff. It just means that it's not children's material and that kind of thing. So they had some recent review of their policies and terms of use to address things like bullying in the online environment, right? So You click on more options. All right, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Good. You click on more options. The tags, let me just say the tags will be, just to let you know, the tags will be like hashtags. So they make it easier to find your video. All right. So you can leave it as is. If you want to put it as whatever category that would suit you. I think education is usually one that would suit you, but whichever one. All right. Once you do that, you click next. Video element you can leave as is. Just click next. Next at the bottom here. And here, Omar, is where you're going to see under visibility, you're going to see unlisted. Now, let me just explain the three options here. Public means it's like how you would normally access a YouTube video. Anybody could go and see it from any part of the world. Private means only you can see it. Unlisted is in between. It means that only persons you provide the link to can access it. So if you leave it as unlisted, I will never be able to see it unless you send me the link. All right? Sorry. Any questions on that?
Can you repeat that again for me, please?
Sure. When you get to the visibility part, let me just drink some water here, sorry. When you get to the visibility part, you're going to see three options: public, unlisted, or private. Public means any and everybody could see it, this one. Anybody could see it. So I could be in the States, you don't need to give me anything. You basically give the whole world permission to see your material, which is okay. All right, depending on what it is. So just as how you would do a random YouTube search and see videos and so on, they're all public. Once you could access it, they're public. Private means that it's there, but you don't want anybody to access it. Yeah? So in other words, only you, once you log into your account, could access it. Unlisted is kind of in between. Unlisted is like, it's semi-permissible. In other words, you give some permission to access the recording. It means that only persons with the link, so for example, if you send me the link, then I could see it. Other than that, I wouldn't even know the video exists. Right? So in this case, you don't want people to see it except those with the link, right? You click, and you could always come back here and edit it and set this part to private, right? You click save. And it will show you a sort of summary page here, right? The title of the recording, when it was uploaded, the link that you could then copy and share with other persons. So for example, I could take, just to give you an example, if you don't want to share your link, you don't have to, but it was part of the activity, you could just put your link in the chat, copy your link, and put it in the chat. Okay, Omar did Omar did the same already. Right? And Omar did this good. Right. Nice, looking good, Omar. Good. So feel free to take a minute to look at Omar's, and you could give some feedback. Do you mind if we do that tomorrow, or you do want feedback? Okay, guys, take a minute to, you don't have to look at the whole thing, but just take a minute to look at Omar's. And if anybody wants to post theirs, they could go ahead and do the same, and we could all give each other feedback on a quick screencast. No one is expecting perfection, of course, because remember, it's it's a quick and dirty kind of thing you're doing here, right? You only had like about 5 to 10 minutes to actually record. And feel free to type it in if you see any comments or if you want to just verbalize it.
Justin, could you put up the link again, please? Because I accidentally put myself out and I just came back in and all the chat is no longer there.
Uh-oh, okay. No problem. Oh, he just did. He just hit it back.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just giving Lisha an extra couple seconds to take a look, and we'll move on after and wrap up soon after. Any details you want to give, Sharon, in terms of what made it cool?
Yeah, I didn't look at the whole thing, but it you know, it was looking good. It was easy to read, and everything came over clear. You know, you're always concerned about how it's coming across. So I think all that video feed you know, was clear.
Yes, yes. I like to, Omar, that you linked it to something that you did before. So I think you started off the bat saying that further to the conversation, I think, and I can't remember what the exact topic was that you were referring to, but you were building on what you did before, right? And then you had this newspaper article, which also adds to the authenticity or real life application of what you're presenting on. So that's always a plus. Guys, you have any other comments on Omar's presentation? So let's move on. I'm just going to show you one little thing, and it's not going to take very long. I just have some graphics that will kind of map out the way and wrap up. Okay. I think because we waited a little while for persons to join. We kind of, you know, I'm just trying to. I'll just gloss over this, and we should finish within 5 minutes or so. Is that okay? Okay, great. So now that you looked at Omar's and so now you know how to share, right? So we went through the entire process. We went through the scripting, we went through the script it, record it, and share it. So we basically completed the 4-step process. Now I'm going to show you using Blackboard how to do the same process, but it's not going to take long. You don't have to do this one time. It's just a show and tell, right? So to do the process in Blackboard, it might be a little more, a couple more steps. It's more than just 6 steps, right, with Screencast. So the thing is that with Blackboard, you could do longer than 15 minutes. So let's say if it's a 45-minute lecture, and it might be for whatever reason, it might be that you're not going to be in the, well, I'm going to say you're not going to be in the country or whatnot to attend your class physically, but it might be you may not have internet connection at a particular, you know in advance, you're not going to have internet connection or whatnot, or whatever the case might be. So you want to pre-record your lecture, right? This is one way you could do it easily in My Learning, in Blackboard, which is in My Learning. You go to your course homepage and you turn editing on. That's the first thing. And we know about this since last week. Well, even last week we covered the initial parts of this, right? Turn editing on and you click add an activity. So once you minus those 2 steps and of course click on Blackboard Collaborate, all right? Once you minus those 3 steps, it basically whittles down to a 5-step process. So in this case, when you click Blackboard Collaborate, and I'll show you the visuals just a bit, you're going to click you're gonna fill out the form, right? Basically, you're giving it a name, and you save and you scroll down, you save and return to course. Then you go in Blackboard, and now how many of you, by the way, let me just back up. How many of you use Blackboard over the past month since this pandemic and school closure took place? Okay, great. Sister?
I was just putting up my hand to say I did.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Good. So you all technically, okay. So Isabella, no problem. Patrice, sure, great. So those of you who use Blackboard and so on before, you're probably gonna start from, let's say, step 5 or 6. All right. For Isabella and Trisha Marie and so on, if you didn't do it before, you use Zoom or whatever, you might probably have to start from scratch, which will be from step 1. But step 1 you might be familiar with because I think in the session last week, we said that we know how to upload documents. We also added Turnitin and regular assignments last week. So it's the same process. It's just that you're starting now, you're gonna click where you would normally click Turnitin. This time you would click Blackboard Collaborate. All right. Once you set up your room, I'm just skipping a bit because I have these slides I will explain. Once you set up your room, you click record session, you upload your presentation, upload your PowerPoint or whatnot, and then you're gonna click on the left side, top left side, record session. And I'll show you where it's located as well. And then after that, you end and you download the recording. All right, let me just take you through these next 2 slides that will explain everything. So steps 1 to 3, right? After you turn editing on, right? You click add an activity or resource, which is normally, let me get the pointer. Yes, okay, it's pointing. Right? You click add an activity or resource, this red arrow, and then this pop-up window will appear with all the activities and tools in My Learning. Now this should look familiar to you because remember we used this same platform last week to create the assignment and to create the Turnitin stuff and so on. This time, you're just gonna click Blackboard Collaborate, right? Now everything in My Learning looks the same. So you don't have to worry. Once you're here, it's gonna take you to creating a Blackboard room, and you could just give it a title of virtual sessions. Yeah? And then you save and return to course. Save and return to course. When you do that, you click on Blackboard or the virtual sessions room that you just created. And then you can do a couple things. You could click create session. In other words, you're pre-scheduling a specific session, right? You click on create session. In that session, you're just going to insert maybe the title as you see here. So we have some titles. And then the time. So we see here 1 on the 4th, the 29th of April, and so on. And then you just save, right? When you do that, you enter the room, which takes us to this part down here. You enter the room, and you're going to upload your PowerPoint up here. You must upload your PowerPoint before you record, right? Because they don't want people seeing when you're recording that you're looking to find your PowerPoint and they think something is wrong with the recording, all right? So make sure you get your recording, and then you click Share Now. Share Now is at the bottom here. Once your PowerPoint is in the is loaded, you're gonna see Share Now at the bottom here. This black part here. Once you click on your PowerPoint and your PowerPoint is up in this center screen, like what you would normally see, like even on this slideshow. This is a slide, so it appears in the middle column here. And then you're gonna go on this side now, the top left side. You click on the drop down menu and you and you click Start Recording. Start recording. And when you finish, you could either come back here and click Stop Recording, or you could just close off the window and it will stop the recording for you. All right? And let me just show you where to go so you know where the recording will be stored. So this is just a quick and easy way that you could use to get to see your recordings and so on. All right? So it should come up anytime now. So to see your recordings, when you go back, let's say you recorded it and so on, and you want to go back and access the recording, you want to download it, you want to send the link to somebody or whatnot. I think I was sharing with Anissa. Anissa, you want to narrate the process to see, just to jog your memory a bit?
Hi, Justin. Yeah, I'm listening.
Right. So you tell me where to go, since we went through this earlier before the session started.
Okay, so you go to those three lines, those three horizontal lines.
Very good. Nice.
And then recordings.
Perfect. See how easy it is, guys? So it's like 2 clicks and you get it. Right. And then you click, well, let's say we have all these recordings here. All right. Then I could easily click this and I could watch it now or download it or even send the link to someone. Normally what I do is download it and upload it into YouTube, because YouTube will give you analytics. It will give you into how many persons looked at the video, maybe some stats on where they logged in from. Sometimes it might be some persons from other countries. And then they could even post a comment or a question. Yeah? And that's how you access your Blackboard recordings. We also have, just so you know, right, good question, Matthias. So Matthias just asks, do you need to change default settings to be able to download? And if so, how do you restrict that capability to yourself? Let me answer the second part. But the first part is yes, right? You go in and to get that option, let's see, let me just show you. So let me go back to the sessions. And let's say I wanted to record to create a session, right? Let's say this, which one? This one. If I needed to edit it, let me just show you where in the settings you will go to click that download feature. In session settings, click on that, and the first option, allow recording downloads. All right. If you you can disallow it. Either way, you will still get to see the recording. So you could even allow it, download your recording, and then disallow it. So students don't, if that's what you're trying to get at, Matthias. All right. Right. So good question, Margaret. So this was in my learning course page. So students will go to the same place. They may not see all the fancy stuff that you would see and the privileges that you would get. They would go straight, they'd follow the same process. They would click on the Blackboard activity, let's say virtual sessions. Then click on the same 3 lines at the top and then go to recordings. And then they will see the list of recordings in here. I think maybe what we can do, I can send you the document. Let me see if I have it here. The documentation on Blackboard recordings. Let me see if I get it for you. So if you go to this particular site, it's in the FAQs, I believe, and we have both a video and a PDF to go with it. All right, it should be in the final. Let me send you the video. Oh, hello. All right, I think it should be in this video. You have to do it manually, Sharon. Let me just send you the link to you'll see all, because it's in one of these 3 FAQ things here. So yes, Sharon, you can give permission for it to be downloaded, and then you could download it and then immediately disallow downloading. All right. Right, IP rights. I'm not aware of that part, Matthias, where it is students will not be allowed to download the recording. I'm not aware. What I do know, yes, the option for downloading is student card. That's what I know, Sharon, yes. Right? So as we, exactly. Some students, remember you want students to download. Now, my advice as well is to especially during this time, and Sharon is very right, to facilitate offline access. So you want students to be able to download it so they can, let's say I want to download it and look at it on my phone. It doesn't mean that it's going to be on my phone forever, because let's face it, students have other things to do with their memory on their phone, right? So it's just for a matter of making it easier for them to go in and review the recording, do it for reviewing purposes or reinforced learning, and then, or for exam purposes, and then that's it. All right. So you could allow it for a period of time if you'd like. I tend to leave it as is in general, and when they need to download it, they have that free will at any particular time to go and review it. Because sometimes, especially if it's a long, if it's a 45-minute presentation you did, some students may not have access to internet, to strong internet, for that long. You know what I mean? So it might be easier for them to just download it and look at it at a subsequent time. Remember we stated earlier in our presentation that it can be accessed anytime. That's one thing, right? So that's what you want to facilitate. Just some guidelines, guys, as we wrap up. These are some 6 points that you want to be very pay attention to when you're doing your lecture captures. You want to make sure that things are presented in a logical format. So you want to organize it in a particular way. You want to have relevant but not distracting visuals in your PowerPoint, for example. Your voice must be clear. So for example, Omar's voice was really, really clear in that presentation he sent, and that was just a rough draft, basically. But it was very, very clear. I think he aced this voice part especially because he sounded passionate, but he sounded authentic, you know? So it wasn't monotone, and, you know, to remember too, there's also research. The literature has shown that the brain's capacity to process multimedia information is very, 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 very limited, and very fragile. So, you know, you want to ensure that it's engaging, that it's not that, okay, you know, the student has to learn this, so that's it. But you want to make it the best learning experience that the student has, right? And that they could process all of the information. The next thing is the content, like I said, should be organized, structured manner. The language. Now, in this case, this doesn't apply to jargon within your field or specialization. All right. So yes, you're using the jargon, you're using the concepts and so on where necessary. Background noises. Now we know this is something that could make or break a presentation. All right. You want to ensure that you're doing your recordings in a quiet space. Like I said, for me, sometimes doing it in the night works, but when my dogs are active, it may not always be that way. Sometimes you might have to have a particular room to do your recording. Yeah. So keep that in mind. And of course, like I said, using the correct headset will help minimize the background noises. I would refrain from putting background music per se. I know, like, I saw a recording many years ago, back in the days of Camtasia, where I think someone was presenting on something and they were playing the theme song from Titanic. And the theme song didn't even have anything to do with the content. But when I looked at the presentation, you know, I couldn't focus on the content. I was just thinking, hey, that's a song from Titanic. Yeah. So keep that in mind. And if you're using transitions like in your PowerPoint and so on, make sure they are relevant and seamless. All right? That you don't have long periods of silence and have students wondering if the presentation is frozen or if it's their connection or something like that. All right? So to recap, we looked at the steps in lecture capture, creation. Anybody could remember the steps? Let me, you could put it in the chat or you can
See it. Record it.
Sorry?
Put
Right.
it, see it,
See it.
record it,
Right.
review.
Well, you're close. Share it.
Share it.
Right. So those 4 things, right? We looked at developing a script for a lecture capture session, presentation, sorry. Remember, we all looked at that breadfruit example and how we were doing it collaboratively. And then we looked at the visual to complement it, whether it's a website, showing certain statistics. That might be one thing you might want to consider instead of a PowerPoint, right? We produced our lecture capture presentation, and then we were able to share it via YouTube, right? That brings us to the end of our session. Any questions?
So the recording of this would be available to us?
Yes. So what I will do is edit it, because I did it for the last session or the session we did on Friday. What I try to do is edit it. So if it is I took a break in the recording, I will try to combine the two in a seamless way so it looks as one smooth, thorough recording.
Great, thank you.
All right. Yes. So you definitely get the link to this recording.
Hi, Justin.
Yes.
Omar here. So
yes.
I remember the last session you were saying, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was Diane, was suggesting that exams will guide us in terms of how we move forward, specific to script and one, right? So I've been trying to follow all the communications, but just in terms of this online part, so I'm guessing that in the course page, we create the tab, we put in the assignment. So if we give it like a case study, of course it might be like a PDF that we upload as a file and we label it accordingly and we pin it there.
Yeah, you could do it like that, or you could do it like what we did last week, where you could embed it into your assignment. Yeah. Yeah. So of course, with the recording from last week will show that, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I just mapping it out in my mind. All right, thanks, sir.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Anybody else? All right, no problem at all, guys. You should see the oh, Isabella, you don't have to upload anything in Blackboard. It's just to hit the record button, and then you click start recording, and then after end recording. If you have any queries or questions, feel free to send me an email. All right. You could send it here to this address or to CETL_BL@sta.uwi.edu. Anyone would work. All right. There was something else I was going to say and I can't remember right now. Thanks so much, Sharon. Yes, I try my best. I try. There was something I was going to say and I can't remember right now.
Remember, Justin, you were supposed to help me to go through the screencast again because I missed the step.
Oh,
it did not save on my
right. So I'll do that.
desktop.
I'll do that in just a bit, as soon as I end the session. All right. So you could just stay on and I'll do it with you.
Okay, thank you.
And then I forgot what I was gonna say again. Oh, guys, I remember now. You should have gotten an email with regard to your to the workshop evaluation. Please feel free to fill out that evaluation form so I get some feedback. You know, and what I did right, what I could work on, that kind of thing. All right. So I think that's it, guys. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Listra, you could stay back just for a couple minutes and I'll walk you through to try to find your presentation. All
Thank
right?
you.
You're welcome. Okay, no problem, Isabella. All right, bye, Sharon. Bye, Anissa. Bye, Patrice. Thanks so much, Omar. Same to you. Start eating. I will try. I'll have to find a good way to prepare it. Yeah. So we'll see. Bye, Margaret. All right. So let's just give me 1 minute and
Yeah, no problem.
everyone to take their time. Guys, if you're looking to figure out, if you're trying to figure out how to leave the session, you could just close off the window. All right. So see you guys. Have a great weekend.